This one thing changed everything in my life and business, like instantly. So much so that it took me from being on the verge of actually getting evicted out of my last place to actually making over six figures in less than 60 days.
What? You were evicted out of your place?
I was about to get evicted.
Oh my God.
Started from the hustle, now we playing it smart. Put the system in position, took the grind out the heart. Got the team on a vision, every role playing part. Ain't no job, it's a business, that's the real boss art. We the 2Exit Podcast.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sam Mitchell. Welcome to Freedom to Exit. I'm that dude, Sam Mitchell, with my consultants in crime. To my far right, we got Maurice Grant. Closer to my right, Josiah Wiley, president of Exit Factor North here in Atlanta. And then to my near left, Floyd Williams, one of our consultants. And then to my far left, James Williams. James is the owner and operator of Lion Progression. He has a AI-driven marketing firm. Welcome to the show, Freedom to Exit, James. Thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, man, pleasure to be here.
We met you a few weeks at a seminar that we had and talked to you about who we are, what we do, and started to establish a relationship with you. And then from talking to you, understanding this space, and everybody's talking about AI right now. And I think people are so afraid of it. It reminds me of, and some of y'all might be young sitting at this table, but I know you're not too young, and the guy to my left not too young with his old self. Remember 1999 when everybody was worried about when the year was changing to 2000?
Buddy, when I was a kid when that happened, everybody thought the world was going to end. It was crazy.
And you know what's funny about that? People are going out buying supplies.
Yeah.
If the world is going to end, why are you going to the grocery store? Duh! All right? So I was just dying laughing, man. But again, and this is why I want to talk to you, James. I'm glad you're here, man, because in this AI space, people are terrified. They're terrified that AI is going to take their job, it's going to take their livelihood. And what we in that AI space keep trying to tell people, it's going to fill gaps. I saw a study online one day. If every American that was eligible to have a job in the United States right now, we still 45 million people short of having enough people to fill the jobs that we have available. Think about that. The biggest problem for us as people, we don't have the right training for the jobs that are available, or we're not ready to take those jobs. Your company, AI marketing firm, first of all, I want you to talk about why people shouldn't be afraid of AI. And then second, I want you to talk about your company and what you do as an AI marketing firm and how you got started and what was your vision for this at such a young age.
So the first thing I would say is, I don't believe that people should be scared of AI simply because it's going to be no different than like the internet and email. When the internet and email came out, it's pretty much the same thing of people like, all right, well, I'm kind of scared of how this is going to go. But if you don't use it right now, if you're not an early adopter, when it gets way more advanced, you're going to be lost. You're going to be completely lost. So everybody should start adapting things right now. As far as how I got started, it's actually a crazy story. It's a crazy story.
You're sitting here with some crazy people. So,
so this one thing changed everything in my life and business, like instantly. So much so that it took me from being on the verge of actually getting evicted out of my last place to actually making over six figures in less than 60 days.
What? You were evicted out of your place?
I was about to get evicted.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I still keep the note just because I'm like, man, this is crazy.
yes, friend.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that. So, because I tell people all the time, the tough times that you go through, sometimes we forget when we get to a certain point. But it's those tough times, that's the reason why you're at that point.
100%. I think everything was made to build me up to this point. Even every single experience, every past business that didn't work, every single thing that I tried. And it's crazy because before I was doing anything AI, I was actually inside of the credit repair industry. And I was sitting there like, man, it's a lot of people who's making more money than me. But for whatever reason, I feel like I'm way better at what I'm doing. So I'm like, well, it wasn't about my ability, it was about my visibility. So my first thing getting into AI was actually about how do I become more visible to my ideal client? So I started going down a rabbit hole, buying courses and this and that. And pretty much everybody said, go out there and get a videographer, get ChatGPT to write you a script, get photo shoots. You need 5 or 6 different outfits, and you just gonna batch shoot the content. I did this one time in Miami. Went to Miami, batch shot the content. This was in November. I didn't get that footage till like March. Everything I talked about gone at that point. So I think about how many other people was going through this same thing. I'm like, it's got to be another way, because why is it taking that long? And then also y'all assume that I have the budget for this. What if I'm shy in front of the camera? What if I can't remember the script? And everybody who's using ChatGPT, they know that their script is going to have them say something like, oh yeah, and no fluff. This is the real deal. Let me tell you the truth. And it's like, it's so generic. It's so generic. They don't even know. Like, this is just a quick tip. If people are not customizing their ChatGPT, you can go down there to the bottom left corner, click that little, whatever your name is right there. It's going to show your actual profile there. You're going to go to personalization, click on the personalization inside of the custom instructions. One thing you can say is, if I ever ask you something vague, give me more questions until you are 90% clear on what I'm asking. Like if somebody say, hey, I want to create a caption for social media. It's the generic stuff. What type of caption? For what social media? How is this being optimized? It's small things like that a lot of people are not paying attention to.
So you need to be more specific.
Yes, 100%.
And people don't understand that. They just think AI going to do it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people be thinking that. But the thing was, when I started getting into like the actual AI videos, I made the videos originally for my credit repair company. And I started getting inbox at the inbox at the inbox at the inbox. And I'm like, oh yeah, finally, credit repair about to take off. And I took the same message. Hey, how's your credit score? Hey, how's your credit score? Hey, how's your credit score? And almost every single person said the exact same thing. Oh, I needed your help, but not with the credit, with the video. And I was like, switch. And that's how I pivoted.
Interesting.
So what is it that, we was talking off air a little bit, and what is it that you actually do with your AI marketing? Because you kind of hinted that your technology is more for people who are camera shy, who don't really want to be in front. My wife is like that. Oh my God. The fear of being in front of a camera, it just scares the bejesus out of her. She's that type of person where she's more comfortable. We got another client, Robert Crown, Coachify. He's and he has his technology. We're in the point trying to get him out there, but you creative people kind of like to hide behind the cameras.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that my marketing agency does is creates AI clones of people. I call them AI digital twins. So create the digital twin so you don't have to remember the script. You don't have to show up on the camera. You don't have to get dressed. You don't have to get out of bed. You don't have to hire expensive videographers or photographers. All of it can be done for you. You don't have to remember no script. We can make a person look just like you and say things just as you would. And a lot of times I think it's better for the marketing because some people, one, you don't know how to script. You take too long. It just takes way too much time to actually shoot the content. And I'm not going to say it's going to completely replace you as a person. I wouldn't say that because you are the brand a lot of the times, especially if you're like a solopreneur. But being able to have something that's going to aid you, because I tell people all the time, if I was to say, what comes after that? I'm asking y'all, what comes after that?
The slogan.
The slogan, right?
Yeah.
I'm loving it, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm loving
And
it.
the thing is, it's like, when was the last time that somebody actually seen that commercial?
Years.
You need to be the same way for all of your clientele. Which is why I also encourage people to start running ads, because sometimes you don't have time to post consistently, but you can still be in front of people consistently by having the ads run, and then you can have the AI do it. And people are going to be fascinated lowering your ad costs just because it's AI. Everybody's like, oh man, what's going on? And I feel like we only got a couple of years before everybody realized, oh, all this stuff is AI, or the AI gets so good you can't distinguish it from humans.
You know, I actually used some of this myself when I was doing some marketing for my son's baseball team. And we were trying to recruit parents, to be interested so we could bring their kids over and they could play on his team. And I basically just got an app similar to your AI marketing program. It's not nearly as good as yours, by the way. And, I just typed in a script and there was a person on the screen that said exactly what I wanted to say and a video exactly how I wanted it to go. And it gave me that social media video that I could just post out onto the Facebook account. And people thought I had hired real actors. They were telling me, oh, who did you hire? What firm did you use? And they were shocked to find out that I had utilized that software. I saw some of your content the other day because your team came in and they showed us some of your stuff. And I was blown away. I mean, it looks exactly like the person is there and they're actually doing the things in the video, but it's actually a computer generated model.
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because a lot of people are struggling right now as well with just being able to create AI photo. It's so many things you can do with this. There's AI photo shoots. There have been people who reached out to me, not for videos, but also for photo shoots. Like, hey, we're getting ready to do this, but something happened. A person canceled for the photography. They couldn't get the dress that they wanted. They couldn't afford the dress or something like that. Like, it's so many things, and I can take a person, put them in any place in the world, put them in any outfit that they want, and they don't even have to spend the money. They can post on their social media, get all the status and everything from it without ever having to leave their house.
So you think this is going to put out those selfie labs, that people go to where they pay to take money in different selfie settings? Because now they can just get on the computer and get anything they want.
So I think it's very much possible, very much possible. But I think people still like the human component of being able to go somewhere. Eventually, we're gonna get tired of being inside of the house and being cooped up. I think at some point it's going to shift back.
Humans like experiences. Right?
Yeah.
So James, I want to ask you this: how important is it for people when they use this technology to not lose themselves in it? Because at some point, when you have to go out into the real world, or you have to give a speech or stand up in front of an audience, that's got to be you. And that technology can give you confidence. It can almost it can teach you what you need to do. But at a certain point, you got to be willing to step up and do what you need to do. Does that help? Does that technology help build confidence for people for that next step that they have to take?
It can be if you use it properly. So, for example, inside of ChatGPT, if you have like the pro mode, right? There's like a dictate button where you can press it and it will talk back to you like live. And what I encourage some people to do, they're constantly texting like the ChatGPT. I would encourage them to actually talk to it because people don't realize this. You can change the voice on the ChatGPT and you can use it as the podcast host. And you can just go back and forth and practice your speaking right there and have normal conversation. A lot of people, if you have like speeches and such, you can still even program it to listen to your speech and then have it give you feedback on that. Just as much as we're practicing using AI, we need to practice becoming ourselves more, right? Because if you don't know who you are, you're going to be no different than everybody who's generically using the same tools that you're using.
A lot of people, they become those AI things.
Yeah.
Because, again, they don't really know who they are. They've never spent the time to reflect on themselves. So, and now that they have access to this technology, they're just trying to build out a whole nother persona of who they are, and that's just not who they are.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So tell us, so we've heard your story about the AI marketing, and we've heard your story about, how you got started up. And tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up and your story, your personal story.
So it gets real deep. So I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. That's where I spent a lot of time there. But during the age of 14,
did I hear you say earlier you were on your own at 14 years old?
Yes. So
that's amazing. Man, I have a 14-year-old right now. I couldn't even imagine that for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's so young. So tell us about that.
So when I was 14, it was a lot of things that was actually happening inside the household. So we ended up being homeless. And I ended up being on my own for quite some time. I was still going to school and I was still just roaming around afterwards. I tried to get a job at 14, but they got like this paperwork that you have to sign in order for you to get a job, but you also have to be 16 even for that to happen. So at that time, I picked up doing something else, which is how I actually got introduced into anything entrepreneurship. I started selling candy, and it was by mistake. So it was one day, I went to the store, and I got like some M&Ms. M&Ms was 50 cents. They was on sale, $2 for $1, which candy was that price now, but it was on sale $2 for $1. I only had $3. I got 6 packs. I ate one that day. The next day, I went to school, and second hour, Spanish class, Senior Greco. I'll never forget this. Guy next to me, see me open up the M&Ms, eating them, sliding them in the side because I know I'm not supposed to be eating inside of the class. And he said, "Hey, James." I'm like, "What's up?" He said, "Let me get some." I'm like, "Nah."
Yeah, nah. Ain't no way.
So he said, "I'll buy it off you." I said, you gonna buy it? I said, how much? He said, $1. I'm thinking in my head, pay 50 cents. Go get some more. So I said, yeah. So I handed it to him. And I had another pack. And sure enough, as soon as we left, other people were like, you got some more? You got some more? And it happened. I'm like, oh, I can make money off of this. So then it started the transition. So
you became the candy man.
Yes.
You became the candy
selling
man.
that candy for a 50-cent profit. That light bulb came on. You like, oh, I'm a businessman, so I can double my profits.
Easily.
Yeah, but it sometimes it's just that simple for that light bulb to come on.
Yeah, so the craziest thing, though, was that's actually how I ended up buying my first car, was all off selling candy. It got to the point that I was making like $300 a day. And I didn't realize what I was making at that time. Because
you didn't realize how much you were making?
No, not at all. Because when I turned 16, I was able to get a job. I started working at McDonald's. And the same check that I got after a week or two was the same amount of money I was making in a day. And I was like, why do people do this?
Why go work with somebody when I can do myself more?
Yeah, and then I didn't know what taxes and what is all this? What is all these random things? I didn't even get to touch this money. So when I found that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I need to figure out something different. But I ended up buying the car with the candy money because it gave me access to being able to go travel to different places, like going to Sam's Club to go get things in bulk instead of getting it from the gas station. I can get better deals on things. I also was able to have a place to sleep because I was sleeping inside of my car. At first, I was sleeping on like sidewalks and curves. Like I used to wake up. So if you're familiar with Detroit, you know downtown they have this thing called the what is the transit center?
Time out. You were living like that in Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mind you not to make you angry at me.
So yeah, I remember like days waking up and all you hear is and that's just the buses because I would just sleep and that's
sleeping on the side.
Yeah, sleeping on the side, and I go to work because I worked at this place that was downtown Detroit, and every morning I just wake up and then I'll go to school, make sure I'm there on time for breakfast. And the crazy part, I had straight A's. They used to be like, why he always sleep inside of class? They thought I didn't know anything. I just like, nah, man, y'all don't know what I'm going through.
You couldn't sleep on the street. You know, good night sleep on the street.
Yeah, nah. So I was sleeping inside of class, but I wake up early in the morning. Everybody be like, all right, I skip breakfast and I go upstairs. And I used to just like wash up inside of the sink while all the kids was downstairs. And then just continue about my day, just like if nothing never happened.
Wow.
Amazing.
So let me ask you this. So when you got into the AI space, was there any mistakes that you made early in your business? Because, you know, we always hear about the success, but I tell people behind every success story, there's a lot of failure. A lot of failure. Did you make any mistakes, or was there some failure? Or you was just one of those lucky people, once you got into this space, it just kind of took off. The light bulb came on.
I think things kind of just took off for me, but I think it's because I failed in so many other aspects. Like a lot of people don't know, like this time last year I was homeless as well. And I was sleeping out of my car inside of Atlanta. And I went through so many different things with different businesses. By the time I came to this one, I was like, okay, cool. I kind of already know that. Boom. The first thing I try to do is hire somebody to help me do the thing. I think a lot of people underestimate hiring soon.
Even though you were sleeping in your car, you're thinking, I can't do this by myself. And that's something we talk about here at the Exit Factor. So many business owners trying to do wear all these hats, do everything themselves. But even where you were financially, you even understood that you needed to hire people.
Yeah, I was driving Uber to pay them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever it takes. Like I knew for a fact this. While I'm out there doing this to try to, because there's certain things I don't think people think about. Once you acquire a customer, you still have to handle the fulfillment.
Right.
And during the time that you're doing the fulfillment, you can't go get new customers. So I figured it was a better use of my time to hire somebody else to do that while I go do something else that's going to make me money.
Wow. And you had this thought process in your early teens.
Oh, this is like even selling candy. People don't know this either. During the time that I was selling candy, I had my homeboys that was in different schools. And what I did was they said, how are you making all this money? I said, I'm selling candy. So every morning I would wake up and I bought duffel bags and I used to put the candy and drop it off on their porches before I went to school.
You had kids at other schools.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's called distribution out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna call
So
you.
you dropped the candy off. And how much? So you had employees. You had a payroll.
They
How
were.
much were you paying the other kids to sell the candy?
So since I was making like 50 cents on each dollar, I just paid them 25 cents or whatever they sold. So I made that easier. And then also, if there's any candy that ended up getting melted or anything like that, we would just discount that so we can just get it back at cost, so we can just reinvest it.
Wow. So let me ask you this: where did you learn? Because we talk about here at Exit Factor, you got to have a system, right? We're huge on systems because without a system, you're gonna fail, right? You can't track this. You don't know this. You don't know that. You had created a system, but did you understand that you had created a system? And if you did you even know that you needed a system?
So I didn't know that I needed a system until things when things scale fast, they break fast.
Did we just talk about
We
that?
just talked
They're
about
growing
that.
too fast.
Go back and watch the last episode.
Yeah.
And you're talking about as a kid with a candy business, you can grow too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
With any
can.
business.
Yeah, it don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
If you grow too fast, things will break real fast.
Yeah.
I was able to pick up on a lot of knowledge. How much can I share? Can I share these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So a lot of my family was like in the drug game. So I seen a lot of things when I was younger, and it was easy for me to pick up. Like, oh, okay, cool. If they come in here, they bringing this in.
Right.
I see people coming into the house. I see how things getting broken down. I see how it get distributed. So when it came to the candy, I'm like, oh, it's the same concept.
Same model.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you took something that you saw as a negative every day and use it. Because most kids, especially people, but kids in general, if they see something negative, they try to figure out how to make that negative thing better. You looked at that and said, no, I'm going to take this negative stuff that I see, business transaction, and use that same formula for legit business.
Yeah.
Wow.
What we really talked about, though, is business acumen. You learned, you acquired your business acumen from watching that model, even though it wasn't, a positive model. There still were systems and processes happening that you grasp from that process of the drug game, and it elevated and accentuated your business acumen. It sped it up, because at 14, your business acumen was probably the level of a 25, 30-year-old, because of that experience. That I call it experiential insight that you got from watching that model.
Yeah.
But people don't get that, though. I don't care what it is. It could be illegal. They have systems, and if those systems are working, it's going to scale and it's going to grow, right? No matter what, if it's illegal or not. You know what I mean? So that's something that's really an aha moment for a lot of people.
So I mean, amazing story, right? So came from very humble background. You've lived a life that most people that I know have never experienced, right? And you really have taken yourself and built yourself up to where you are today with this AI marketing firm that today is very successful, right? Doing very well. So tell us a little bit about the success and how is that going with you right now?
It is a process. It's a process. You have to think so differently, because as I said before, like, I spent so much time in survival mode. I have so much freedom to think about other things now, but now I don't know what to even think about.
Wow, that's good.
So I spend a lot of time now trying to learn how to think and not what to think.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's probably the hardest thing. And then there's hiring and all the other things like that. But I feel like that stuff is so much easier than learning how to navigate from a different place.
Wow. Let me ask you this. I come to you as a potential client, and how does that process work? You bring me in, I come in, I want to start posting content, but I'm shy. I don't want my actual self out there doing it. How do I access your technology, and do you sit down and curtail it to my specific needs, or do we have a conversation of how I want to sound? And how does that process work?
Oh, 110%. So what typically happens when clients come to me is that I want to understand their business and what it is they're offering at that time. Because the goal of creating the videos with the AI isn't just to oh, I'm out here. Like I want you to make sales. So when you make money, you're gonna come back, you're gonna pay me so I can make more money. The whole goal is to make sure your business is profitable from the things that we're doing, which is why I mainly specialize with people who are already running ads, because then they can have a metric of seeing how their ad cost is going down and their ROAS are going up. So that's one of the biggest things. So when they sit down with me, I want to understand, what is the offer that you're getting ready to promote, right? What is your current marketing efforts? Like, who is your target audience? What are their pain points? Because we got to put all that stuff inside of the marketing. A lot of people don't understand that the scripts on anything that you do is probably the most important thing. On a landing page, there's a script there. When you're talking and you're doing whatever video, there's a script there. When you're creating the AI videos, there's a script there. The words are the things that matters the most. So when you understand what your ideal client is sticking inside of their head, and you can address it beforehand and give them the desired result to erase the pain that they're already going through, that's how we're actually going to make the sales. So understanding those things will be the first step.
Wow. So we got to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to dive deeper into James with James Williams, owner and founder of Lion Progressive, an AI marketing company. How old are you, James, if you don't mind me asking?
29.
Wow.
Wow.
29, and your story
That's great.
is amazing. 29 years old. You're listening to Freedom to Exit. I'm your host, Sam Mitchell. We'll be right back after this short break.
80% of businesses out there don't sell. 20% do. Be a part of that exclusive club. Don't allow things like death, divorce, disability, or disagreement to keep you from joining that exclusive club and getting 90% of your net worth in cash.
Hey guys, most people start their businesses because they have a vision for a lifestyle sometime in the future, to be able to have that business create that lifestyle for them so they can exit not on someone else's terms, but on their own terms. So you can do that now. I want you to go to our site, Plan That Exit, to do an assessment of what your business is worth. Because when we know what your valuation is, we can actually help you get that valuation even multiple times higher than what it is today.
Answer me this. Could you leave your business right now, turn off your phones, shut your laptops, not respond to any emails, phone calls, text messages, and it still be running like a well-oiled machine? If that's not you, then you need to visit our website, planthatexit.com. Like this video, subscribe, comment for more topics that you want to hear us talk about, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Welcome back to the show, Freedom to Exit. I'm your host, Sam Mitchell, joined by James Williams, owner and founder of Lion Progressive, a marketing AI marketing company. James, man, I'm so glad you joined us. Your story is just remarkable. Floyd had a question for you about your technology and where did these ideas come from?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, you said people shouldn't be afraid of technology. I think what we understand that this technology upskills people, and it doesn't have to necessarily replace people unless they don't stay in front of it, right? It's your choice. But I remember my career in the advertising space. Guys, I remember the first Macintosh, the Mac computer that came out.
Yeah.
The first one. And I saw the commercial. And I saw this whole commercial, and I stopped in my tracks. I was running an ad agency. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a disruptor. I don't have a choice. I got to go out and get this Mac computer. I didn't have the money. I went and got the Mac computer. I got the printers. I got all that, and I put it on a credit card because I had to. It was the best decision I made because there were other agencies who had not adopted the technology, but I was the first one to adopt it because I had to. I feel the same way about this technology. This is a disruptor. It's crazy that you tell me, you came in and you said, we do funny ads. And when I think about the ads that I used to do, I had to hire a photographer. I had to hire a makeup artist. I had to hire the people to do the hair. I had to hire the models. I had to hire the copywriters. Do you know how much money that I just ran out?
Yeah.
And that's a whole day shoot. Like, prepare to be here all day, and you're paying, and that's going to be about that's going to be $50,000.
Well,
He just said that he does funny ads with no talent, really, no creative, and he puts this together in, how long does it take you to do that?
Maybe give it maybe an hour.
Wow.
An hour. That's scary.
And you know, that's
scary.
what really the AI technology boom is all about, right? So we're like you brought it up earlier. People were originally scared of email and the internet and all of that stuff. I think what we really need to be looking at this as is it's going to make us a lot more productive as a culture and a society and in business and all the personal areas of our lives. We can leverage this technology to make us even more productive than we were previously. It's kind of like when I first started at my first job out of college. Coach, they had an entire wall of fax machines from one end of the building to the other that would just spool purchase orders all day long. They'd come out and somebody would walk over there, grab the paper, go back to their computer and type it into the system to put that order into the system. By the time I left, all of them fax machines were gone and everything was coming in by email. You know, that changed the efficiency and the productivity of that company, right? So the AI technology, you just said what it used to cost $50,000 and take an entire day to shoot, now can be done from a computer with your company in an hour. So
that's right.
So what that means, though, is that we have more money to invest in our business, right, in other areas.
Yeah.
We have more time available that's freed up for us to focus on other things, right? And we can be more productive with our marketing, advertising, and our ads because we can produce more of them faster.
Well, think about me going the traditional route and trying to compete with you, with the client. Okay, I just need to spend this kind of, I need to
just
hire
the cost
these people.
alone. Go to
By the time I'm giving him the quotes, he already got the project done.
yeah.
Like, I can't compete with that. I've got to adopt. What do you think?
Yeah. So I kind of 100% agree. And like, is there a certain perspective too that people's like, oh, well, I don't want to spend money on fake AI. It's not real. I'm like, but if you go back, 2 weeks ago, the number one movie or show on Netflix for like 2 months was K-pop something, which is a cartoon. I watch cartoons. Even today, I still watch anime, not cartoons, anime. It's a difference. Y'all won't understand. It's a difference. But regardless, like, y'all probably watched Mickey Mouse knowing that it wasn't real. You still watched it knowing that it wasn't real. So AI, if it is AI-generated content, it doesn't matter if it's real or fake. It's still getting the message across, which is like what you're really perfecting. You're perfecting getting that message across, whether real, fake, it doesn't matter. And you said it best. It's like getting it out there as quick as possible. But like this, the Super Bowl is coming up again, and the average ad for the Super Bowl is about $5 million.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Per 30 seconds.
How many videos can you produce with $5 million?
That's
How many you need?
They're doing 30 seconds.
There's no longer any
30 seconds.
ad agencies around. The larger agencies are now gone because of how we transition. Now there's digital firms, digital agencies, not ad agencies, because they sell it. An ad agency selling media, right? And to be able to compete with you, it's
going to be hard. Yeah, just to call. I want to ask a question for the panel. How does AI boost valuation through efficiencies and predictability? Now think about how do you use that to increase your valuation of your company because you're more efficient and you're more predictable.
I think, leveraging the technology boom we're in right now to lower costs, right? Putting that technology into your company, like we just talked about earlier, that would have saved Floyd $50,000 in marketing, right? By putting that technology in, your marketing budget could have been reduced by, probably a significant amount, right? Because now you're being more productive, and you can use that money in other capital investments, potentially hire more people in the business if you need to, right? And invest in other areas that are important for your strategy. And it also sets you up for being able to get on top of exponential growth, right?
Yeah.
I would say that, like we were talking about earlier, don't be scared of the technology. Embrace the technology, pull it into your business, and let it make you more efficient, reduce your costs, and increase your profitability.
Yeah, this whole idea with the AI twin is fascinating because it's going to impact all types of industry. Imagine an actor actually having an AI twin and having a whole film done with his image or her image, and they don't even have to be there. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
guys.
It'll be
that's
done in a
crazy.
That's
month.
your IP.
It'll be done in a month.
Yeah, and that's your IP. That's your intellectual property
Well, you
that
know,
has value, right?
when they made the most recent Star Wars, one of the original actors from the original 3 movies had passed away,
I remember that.
and they actually regenerated him in the movie
Yes.
and a whole scene, even though he had passed, using his likeness and his voice. And when I watched the movie the first time, I didn't know that,
You didn't even realize it.
and I didn't. And then somebody told me. I said, "What?" I had to go back and rewatch that to see if I could tell if that was actually a person or not.
Right.
Guys, that's the biggest thing in Hollywood right now, because I saw something on television the other night that actors and singers are getting upset because people are starting to generate their voice, their everything about them. And there was this one lady on TV, can't sing. And she released this song, and everybody's going crazy about the song. And they were interviewing her. And that woman, I wanted to call her something, man, couldn't sing a lick. And so I'm sitting here saying, okay, that's great that you got this on the radio, internet, but you can't ever go on tour. So if you go on tour, what you gonna go out there and dance and just do like this? Because she can't sing. And I think and that's the danger of some of this stuff that people think this is gonna replace people. And that being said, that leads me to my next question. Is there a danger of data dependency? Are people going to lose their voice and who they are because of all the things we could do with this AI technology? Because we just talked about in the movie, this person is
Yes.
deceased and they can regenerate them, and you didn't even realize it.
That's right.
Not thinking about it. I just talked about seeing a person on TV that released a song, and she openly was sitting there laughing. She can't hardly talk, much less sing. I couldn't understand what she was saying, much less sing. And that can be a problem. So do we have to be careful that with this technology, and I won't start with you, Maurice, that we don't lose ourselves? Because you're a tech guy.
Blank 4, yes. Like straight up, yes, because it's 2 different perspectives you can see of it too. But it goes back to a statement I said in one of our previous episodes, is that if you're not the creator of the system, it's your enemy. AI is a system within its own that's being created by other people, but it's also creating itself. So you got to therefore use it with a certain awareness and still create systems that you abide by to gain ownership of everything that you are creating. So if you're using AI in your business, as a business owner, is like, okay, well, what rules, regulations am I placing in my company of what people can and cannot use AI for, how they can and cannot use AI for? Because there's certain things like you can use, say like Claude, for example, to create something. Claude now owns that. They have trademark of whatever it is that you produce, this script that we talked about, this VSL, this video sales letter. If you use Claude to now produce this content, Claude can now come back and say, oh yeah, this is mine, so cut me my check, please. So when we start looking at the actual system that you create of how you're using AI in your company and infrastructure to now gain that control back, it is truly needed to understand the importance of what you are creating and how you're using it and what the leverage of it is. But it can go left, it can go right. It really just depends on your perspective of it and what you believe can happen from it. But ideally, it goes to me, just like create the system.
So James, I come to you, you create this AI image because I'm camera shy. At some point, do you try to get those people to understand that they need to slowly start moving in that direction? Or do you just let them simply escape into that never AI land and just that becomes who they are because they don't want to personally? My question, do you try to push people out there in front of the camera at some point themselves, or it's just fine with just letting them live in that AI generated world?
I would prefer, honestly, if people did both, because I think that when we know about know, like, and trust,
No, like,
and I will say that you can't know, like, and trust AI, but that's been disproven. Like, that's been a lot of people. There's AI influencers that people are giving brand deals to, giving record deals to. So I'm like, yeah, I guess that's not so much as a factor. But when it comes to actually meeting people live, if somebody buys your product, buys your service, meets you in person, who are you now? You know? So getting people to realize that yes, you can use AI to aid you, but not necessarily
Give
fully
you an
replace
alter
you.
personality, but when you actually have to have human contact, you better be confident in yourself.
Yeah. And also the other thing is you can still show up as you, and you can have AI generated people and they don't have to be you. It could be a clone, but it don't have to be. Right? That's another thing when we're talking about creating the content and generating the ads and such. A lot of people think that, oh, okay, cool. What if I don't want it to be me? It don't have to be you.
Right.
It can be other made up characters.
Yes.
Because also when you're thinking about how y'all talk about being able to exit, if you build the whole brand, even if you're using AI off of you, how do you sell it?
Right. We talk about that all the time.
You know? So you can use these AI generated people as well. Or if you do use yourself, imagine if you could sell your likeness with the company.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna come down to. I think these actors, it's gonna come down to they're gonna have to sell their name, image, and likeness. Let me ask you a follow-up question to that, since you went down that road. I want to ask you this. What are the metrics that you use for measuring AI-driven marketing? How do you know if I come to you, how do you know when I use your technology that I'm successful? What metrics that you use?
Ad spend, because that's why I specialize in. It's like understanding your ROAS, which is the return on ad spend, right? So if we can see that, like I had a client who just sent me back some stuff today, they 7x'd. I'm like, 7x what you spent? I'm like, cool.
Wow.
Off of one video. That's not even including the rest of them, right? So if we can figure out how much money is coming back in from the investment that you made, then we can figure out if it was worth it.
Right.
To me, that's the only way, which is also why I'm trying to figure out so much about the business. What's the offer? Who's the target audience? So we can figure out what do we need to put inside of the script so it can actually convert for you.
Yeah.
That's kind of
So
the
your
biggest thing.
consultation with a client, how long that normally lasts? A couple of hours?
No, honestly, like 15, maybe 30 minutes. I need enough information for me to go be able to have AI do research on it, and then we can figure out all the pain points and everything else.
All right, now what's your pricing? You know,
Pricing is white glove. I tell the people it's white glove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everybody's stuff is a little bit different because I need to understand how
it's
many
depending
videos
on what you want.
Yeah.
So give me a typical ad. If I came to you a typical marketing ad that you would charge for, let's say I want to.
We want a lemonade stand ad, don't we?
Understand.
We want two kids at a lemonade stand, and someone like him talking to them about exiting their lemonade stand. So a really funny skit.
I'm actually need to do that. I think that'll be funny.
That'd be fine.
I've written the script already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I've written the script already.
Yeah. So a video like that, normally the video's between like 30 to 45 seconds. One video, probably like just $1,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Versus what I just said.
50,000 to 1,500. I'll take
Seriously.
Yeah.
So you're telling me back in the day to do what I just asked, that
I
would
paid the
cost
photographer $30,000 for a whole full day photo shoot.
Wow, and I know a
And that
makeup
includes the
artist
models
and all
and-
those,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
And the
30
models
grand.
price, that's $50,000.
And we haven't done the ad yet.
And you can make that person look whatever they want to wear, their hair, how they want to look for $1,500. Wow.
Yeah.
I got another question that's probably gonna switch
Sold.
it up a little bit.
So
So with you pivoting and adjusting to a new industry, you might as well say from credit repair to AI now, what are some of the main challenges that you're finding yourself looking to grow in this industry that you have, like honestly, like no prior experience in, that you're learning and adopting? Like, what are the main challenges you're finding yourself coming across now?
finding and training talent because it's so new. It's easy because when it was credit repair, if I wanted to find someone and I needed to outsource like the fulfillment, it was easy. Dime a dozen. 1,001 people know how to do it already. They'll come, they even have processes. I'll teach you mine, but you already know something. In fact, you might be able to teach me. Now the space is so new that I'm the person that's definitely learning everything. It's hard to hire people who know more than me. And typically you want to hire people that's smarter than you. And it's harder to find that. And then during the training process, people are so amazed by the things that's so little. I'm like, we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. So I think that has been the hardest part is hiring good talent that can actually do the fulfillment on the stuff and not get stuck on the like, wow, this is amazing. Like, no, hold on, wait, this is amazing. We haven't gotten to this. We still got a lot of fulfillment to do. Don't get stuck on this. So I think that's one of the biggest things right now.
Now, I guess for you, do you personally have like a system for hiring, firing, and training?
Decently. I wouldn't say it's fully intact just because things are changing consistently. So I have to constantly update the SOPs. I'm like, okay, cool. So now this is okay. And then this tool just came out with this rule. Okay, now we're going to switch this up. So it's not fully streamlined as of yet because everything is still so new and switching up. And then now we have to do different things that's even bringing in clients, the contracts that they sign, getting the stuff out to them. Things are constantly changing. The tool, you got to pay attention to the rules that they say. Like some things can be used for commercial use, some things can't. Where does the data belong to? So we have to stay up to date on all these policies. So things are constantly switching, constantly.
Gotcha.
James, I want to ask you before we go, man. How can people reach you? How can they obtain your services? How do they get in touch with you? This is interesting, man, because you've blown me away with what you do, how you do it. And I do know a lot of people that don't want to put their person out there like that, but that alter ego, that person that looks like them. But I say this all the time, man. If I know so many athletes that are shy, that they're coming in this room and stand in the corner, wouldn't say a word. But when you get their butt on that basketball court, oh my God, all that personality, everything comes out. And I tell players all the time, the beauty of when you get to play, you can become anybody that you want to be on that court. Like in my own personal life, I could be quiet, I could be reserved, I could be whatever. But when I step on that court and put that uniform on, I get to be whomever I want to be. And I think the beauty of your technology is that, man, when they come see you, regardless of their inhibition as a person or the lack of confidence and this and that, they can become, and I would hope, after seeing what you could do for them from a comedic standpoint, it maybe give them the confidence of like, I can go out there and do that. So for people who are interested in your service, how do they get in touch with you, man?
It's easy. You can just find me on any one of my social medias at I am James A. Williams, or just text my 1-800 number. That's 866-701-0234. And just let us know that you're trying to
You gotta say it again now.
Yeah,
Both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Say it.
All right. So find me on all of my social media platforms at I am James A. Williams, and my phone number at 866-701-0234.
Man, thank you, guys. Look, this has been, James, your story is just remarkable from start to finish. At 14, how you started, the things that you went through. And I tell people this, tough times don't always define you. It's how you come through those tough times. Is what you end up being. And man, your story is remarkable. The fact that you started your business selling candy and all the things you learned. And then the fact that you took something negative that you saw on a daily basis and figured out how to turn it into a positive. And so I tell people all the time, you can learn a lot. Ernie Grunfield, general manager that I work for in Milwaukee, used to tell me this all the time. He said, Sam, everybody always trying to figure out what to do. You know, how to do this, what to do. He said, what I've learned in my life, the most important thing is what not to do. Is what not to do. And when I thought about it, you think about all the things that you want to do, but when you start thinking about all those things that you shouldn't do, that list gets long. And if you follow that, it'll save you a lot of heartache and money. Again, James, thank you again. Again, here's James Williams. He's the owner and founder of Lion Progressive. You've been listening to another episode of Freedom to Exit. I'm your host, Sam Mitchell, joined by my fellow consultants. We'll be back with you next week. Guys, this was a great show. James, thank you again and much success with your company. Looking forward to it. Man, I've learned so much sitting here about AI to where I think I may let you create an alter ego for me. Maybe a quiet,
a twin.
More of a reserved person because y'all know me. I'm buck wild, so it is what it is. All right. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.
80% of businesses out there don't sell. 20% do. Be a part of that exclusive club. Don't allow things like death, divorce, disability, or disagreement to keep you from joining that exclusive club and getting 90% of your net worth in cash.
Hey guys, most people start their businesses because they have a vision for a lifestyle sometime in the future, to be able to have that business create that lifestyle for them so they can exit not on someone else's terms, but on their own terms. So you can do that now. I want you to go to our site, Plan That Exit, to do an assessment of what your business is worth. Because when we know what your valuation is, we can actually help you get that valuation even multiple times higher than what it is today.
Answer me this. Could you leave your business right now, turn off your phones, shut your laptops, not respond to any emails, phone calls, text messages, and it still be running like a well-oiled machine? If that's not you, then you need to visit our website, planthatexit.com. Like this video, subscribe, comment for more topics that you want to hear us talk about, and we'll see you guys in the next video.